Okay, but have they joined? They're waiting. Thank you. Uh, Good afternoon, members of HARAMBEE SACCO. It's my pleasure to invite you into our today's webinar. This is the third one that we are doing. The first one was about, we were introducing shares drive. The second one, we were positioning investing in HARAMBEE share capital. And today, we want to talk about investment opportunities for SACCO members. Time and again, I'm asked, I'm a member of your SACCO. I want to make an alternative income other than salary. What can I do? And also beyond that, the statistics at HARAMBEE are very interesting. We have 79,000 members. About 70,000 are actively contributing, that is their deposits. However, some 19,000 have no loans. So 19,000 members of HARAMBEE SACCO, they are active, they are contributing deposits, but they have no loans. I would like to address this team and also the team that already have loans but would like to hear about alternative investment opportunities. My name is Dr. George Ochiri. I am the CEO of HARAMBEE SACCO, and welcome. I want to start by helping us understand what is investment. What is investment? An investment is committing a resource into a project or activity expecting a return. And remember, I said committing a resource into a project or activity for a return. I want to clarify, many a times when we talk about investment, what comes into mind is capital, that you have money, you invest money in a project, and you get a return. That is true, and that is correct. But there is more. You can also just invest your talent. So, for example, I stay in Kasarani. There is a young man there who knows how to do DJ. He's a DJ. And he tells me that, fine, he runs a shop in town Monday to Friday, but he makes more money between Friday and Saturday when he does DJing in birthdays, parties. So in such a case, his investment is not, his resource is not capital. His resource is his talent. And this also goes together with the examples we have, say, from the Rift Valley, where we have people who know how to run. So you find somebody's capability is not to access a lot of money the way you and I, we can borrow from HARAMBEE to start a business or to start a project of our choice. For them, they do exercises, and then they go and run in London, go to Tokyo, and they make money. That is also committing a resource. Now, there are many types of investments. You can invest in your health. There is also economic investment, and particularly I'll spend a lot of time today on economic investment opportunities. But there is also what we call social investment, which is also very, very important. And I may mention a bit and more so to our members who are growing senior, especially those of us who are now in fourth floor, fifth floor, heading towards sixth floor. You should be investing more in social as you reduce on your economic investment. Now, what is a social investment? When you build yourself a nice house where you are staying, unfortunately, that one is not an economic investment. That is a social investment. You stay there with your family, your friends can visit you there, and everybody is happy. That is called social investment. And most of us, most SACCO members, unfortunately, we've committed a lot of resources on social investment. Those of us in the middle class, you find you start by building a house in the village. That house in the village is not an economic investment. That is a social investment. And unfortunately, again, even if you go to, say, Utawala, you get yourself a nice plot, then that nice plot, you build another house or another home. So you have a home in Utawala, you have a home in the village. Those two cases, all those are social investment. Do we need them? The answer is yes. You need them. In fact, first and foremost, you should be through, or you should be fairly stable socially so that you can invest economically. So I want to go into economic investment, and you can invest in many, many spheres when you talk about economic investment. But I want to answer a question. Where do I get information if I want to be an investor? Where do I get information about investment? Of course, big investors, they normally do surveys, do research. So for example, you want to put up a mining, say in Kilgoris. So before you start digging, you need to do some research. You do some survey. You confirm that indeed, yes, if I put money here, I will be able to get a return. So you do a survey. Then number two, to get an investment idea, you can also do what we call brainstorming. Brainstorming, if you want to do brainstorming alone, it means you have a board meeting of 3 people. I, myself, and me. And then you look around, you think around what has worked wherever your environment has been, and you settle on one. That is brainstorming. Or if you're a group of friends who want to invest, you go to a place, ask yourself questions. What are the possible opportunities? You will get answers. That is called brainstorming. Then one that works best if you want to generate an investment idea is benchmarking. What is benchmarking? This is where you identify successful projects, you visit and see how they have worked, ask questions. Those who are already successful, they will give you answers. So for example, people talk a lot about dairy, people talk a lot about fattening of cows, fattening of mbuzi. So if you want to start such a project, visit where there is already dairy, visit where maybe there is chicken farming, ask questions, compare notes with them. You'll be able to validate an idea which you are probably trying to build on. There is also another source of investment opportunity. And remember, I'm answering a question. What can I invest in? Where do I get the idea? We normally have trade exhibitions all over. If you go to KICC, I think every week, KICC, Kenyatta International Conference Center, if you go there, you'll find people exhibiting items. Next month, that is September, towards the end, we are going to have a Nairobi Agricultural Show. And I want to encourage, especially Harambee SACCO members in Nairobi, this year, do not miss the show. Go there, you'll be able to see, identify with projects, investment opportunities that others have succeeded in. You can pick one idea for yourself. I want to give you a very interesting example. I stay in Kasarani, and in Kasarani, there is a TRM, Thika Road Mall. And what happens there is that every year there is an exhibition from the Middle East and Egypt. So they bring a lot of kitchenware. Unfortunately, our people do go there. Like my madam likes going there around such a time. While the intention of those who have come to exhibit is to get business partners to link up with possible importers, my madam goes there every year to buy cutlery. So you go home, you find new set of cutlery. When they come again, she buys new set of cutlery. The real intention of exhibitions is opportunity to showcase and then link up with potential investors. Now, that is okay. Is that all? That is not all. I still want to answer this question. Where do I get a business idea? The other one is expert opinion. You ask an expert, somebody who knows. So, for example, a member came recently and was asking me, I hear a lot about government bonds, treasury bond, treasury bill. What about them? How do they operate? How do I invest in them? So you go to a financial expert, they will be able to tell you this is how this particular area of investment works. So you ask the the expert. Another area which many Kenyans will not exploit fully, read industry journals and magazines. So for example, if your interest is in banking, then you'll find there are relevant magazines, books that talks about banking as a business. Same case with yourself. For example, let's say banking is a tall order. For you and I, maybe you want to do rentals, so you want to invest in houses. If you walk in the streets of Nairobi, of course, same with Kisumu, same with Mombasa, you'll find magazines for that industry sector. Buy that one, read about that kind of business, you'll be able to have more ideas on how to invest in that particular sector. Now, this could be the most important idea or source of idea if you want to be an investor. Membership to investment associations and clubs. So, for example, you are interested in avocado farming. That's okay. But you can't be in avocado farming when you are a member of dairy farming. So join a group of avocado farmers. They will enrich what you already know or what you have gathered, and they will be able to help you develop more as an avocado farmer. Same even with business. You want to be in the retail chain, so you want to do mini markets or convenience shops, as they call them in some parts of the world. No problem. Associate yourself with those who are in that particular business space, and you will not go wrong. Now, we have also some very unique sources of information in Kenya. One of them is called World Bank. World Bank has got a very rich library, and you don't have to go to World Bank. You only need to log in, and you just Google and ask about investment opportunities in Kenya. You'll be amazed at the amount of information that they have. For those of us who have already started and probably want to expand further and then maybe do a little more, if you hear of the government trying to make a law, any law that is made has got two intentions. One, to promote something. Number two, to curtail, that is, to stop or limit. And when that takes place, there is a business opportunity along with it. So, for example, when you hear the government is saying, fine, we want to create a bill, say, for the youth. and we are going to create, say, the youth fund, we are going to do ABCD. That is a business opportunity as well. Move closer and read whatever the government's intentions are and ride along with them. Same case with government projects. When you hear government is going to do a project somewhere, there is a business opportunity there. You need to move close to that place where the government is operating. There is also what we call globalization. Globalization is a scenario where now people are coming from outside Kenya and they are coming to do business or to tour Kenya. That is a business opportunity. And I normally give this very interesting example. What we call here as Waru, when you go out there, it has got a very interesting international name. It's called French fries. So why are we not also calling Githeri? We give it a nice name and we start selling Githeri beyond Kenya. But even outside of that, when globalization is expanding, like you see the Chinese are coming all over, maybe you can start already keeping snakes, because for them that is a delicacy. Or donkeys. I'm sure you heard of a case when donkeys disappeared around Naivasha, and even somebody actually opened an abattoir. That is taking advantage of what we call a globalization. And that is an opportunity as well. Now, I want to go into some examples of investment opportunities so that I answer a basic question for a very basic member. This is somebody who may not necessarily borrow $1 million. And as a member of Harambee, you can start with whatever amount, as little as whatever you can borrow. If your capacity is only to borrow 50,000, no problem. 100,000, no problem. $1 million and beyond, no problem. So I'll give you some stories from which, and these stories, the intention is not that these are the only opportunities that Harambee Sacco members are going to invest in, but these are going to jog you up, to make you be alive to that opportunities are all over. You only need to look around your environment and you start. So one day, I was invited to talk to a group of staff and teachers of a school here in Nairobi called Moi Educational Center. Moi Educational Center is just adjacent here to Wilson Airport. So they had gone for a retreat in a place called Kilaguni. Kilaguni, by that time, was so exclusive that once you go there, even your phone is not working. So Kilaguni is in Savo. Kilaguni is found in Savo East, inside the national park. So I go to Kilaguni. I do what I like doing, talking about investment, talking about life, and we are happy. So we finish our retreat and we come back, and then the principal, that time the principal was called Mr. B, tells me, okay, come on a Wednesday, you get your check. And then he tells me, come very early in the morning, I'll not be there for too long. So I go to Moi Educational Center on a Wednesday morning. So first, I'm quite impressed. For those of you who have never known, the school has got very high level of discipline. And then the school has got campuses. So there is a campus for pre-primary, there's a campus for lower primary, there is a campus for, now they have a campus for junior secondary and a campus for senior primary. So I'm amazed at how orderly the buses are coming in, the children are being dropped, and then they go into parades according to their campuses. That was not the objective for that day. Me, I had gone for my check. So principal sees me and tells me, okay, go to my office and wait. It's on the second floor. So I go to the principal's office, the waiting bay on second floor. When I look behind his office through the window, I get amazed. I saw buses in a field, buses which My estimate was they could be running to 100 or more. So when Mr. B came, I asked him, this school must be very rich. How can you have all these buses? Then he laughed and said, no, we have only 4 buses. These other ones have been brought by people who are investing. So you come here with your bus. Of course, we sign an agreement. I give you a route. Yours will be to go around. You pick the kids, ensure some level of safety. You bring them here. In the evening, you take them back. And he told me that is a very safe investment opportunity. I am also posting this to my audience this afternoon, that if you're a member of Harambee Sacco and you can access $1 million, $2 million, nothing stops you from taking advantage of the many schools that are now coming up in the middle, and even in the slums nowadays, we have got school buses. And not only in urban centers. When I went for a short break and the schools were going on, I found in my own village, in Migori, school children are being picked and dropped. And of course, security has worsened across when you talk about the pikis and the like. So it is even better for parents that they have their children going to school on school buses. And this investment is fairly safe compared with, say, matatu, say, a lorry. This one, once you have taken a route, you are just circulating around a certain circumference, and the payment, depending on how you agree with Mwalimu, it's guaranteed. And I'm sure you know the best debt collectors. If they gave you nursery school children, you are even happier. Because if Mwalimu tells them, tell your parent to pay by this time, else you want to come to school, this youngster is the best debt collector. The parent will pay whether she or he has money. So that is my first example that I wanted to give us this afternoon. That as we do our many things, even our brothers who in Somalia, of course, I'm aware of what parents at the Brois can do when you invest and you're far away. But on the minimum, this one is generating something for you as you also do your active employment, which also generates for you some income. Let me get away from that. I want to tell you another story that I like telling about investment. One day I was invited to Nakuru, no, Kericho, not Nakuru, Kericho. In Kericho, there is a circle there called Imarisha. Then they have Imarisha Housing. So Imarisha Housing, the board invited me to go and talk to the members about investment and about housing cooperatives in Kenya. Now, unlike Mombasa, Eldoret, or Kisumu, there is no flight to Kericho. And, you know, driving to Kericho can be a little bit difficult. So I looked at the options of reaching Kericho, and I settled for Easy Coach. And my estimate was, if I go for the evening Easy Coach, I'll reach Kericho around 3. Then I can sleep for some 3 hours. Then when I wake up, I freshen up and I go and attend to what I was invited, which is to share with the members of Imarisha Housing. So Easy Coach is also one of the safest. So when you're there, you are happy. So we go up to Nakuru. That particular time, Easy Coach offices, I don't know whether they're still there, they were in Kenol Kobil. Kenol Kobil along Kenyatta Avenue. Today it is called Ruby's. So what was amazing is when we get out of the bus, we found so many buses. Actually, over 10 buses had stopped there, some coming to Nairobi, some going up country. And then, of course, people are disembarked. Around there are many things one can do. You find Nyamachoma, it's a supermarket. Of course, for those who like their drinks, there is a place you can drink. But something stood out And this is what I want to share with us. There was a place for relieving yourself, a toilet, to put it straight. So I go into the toilet, and I am surprised. It was clean. There was piped music. We just paid the normal 10 shillings those days. I don't know whether the price has gone up now. And the place is well scented. You know, they have put perfume. So when you are there, you indeed feel I've utilized my money well. So it struck my mind. Remember, I was going to talk to members of housing on investment. So I was questioning myself, how did this person come with an idea that instead of investing in anything else, all he or she would do is to invest in a toilet? Fine. I didn't have an answer. So I went to Kericho. I did my thing. I came back to Nairobi. Around that time I was lecturing in town. So one day I was coming to lecture, as is my duty. Then my car was not in good condition. So I took public transport, a matatu. Now when you take a matatu, you come earlier because they stop on the way, so you can't wait and go with the timing of a personal car. So I come earlier, then I reach almost 1 hour before my class starts. So I'm dropped along Tomboya. Then as I walk towards my destination, I see in the archives there is some toilet there. Then you know these things, they're very interesting. When you see a toilet, that is when you feel the urge that probably you needed to relieve yourself. So of course I say, let me relieve myself when I go to class. I just go straight to class. Now when I get into this toilet near archives, I pay 10 shillings, then I get in on the gent side. I am amazed. That room, and anybody who is in Nairobi today, you can go and check for yourself. There are 4 doors. That means if you want to go for long call, you can go use any of the 4 doors. There are also 4 bowls, urinal bowls, 4 of them. Then I was the last of 4 people who were in a queue. I don't know whether if I asked you how many people were in that room, you can get the answer. But to make it easy, it is 4 plus 4 plus 4. That means we were there, 12 of us. If you're a student like myself, you ask yourself, we are here, 12 people, each of us has paid 10 shillings. That is 120 shillings. And you want to ask yourself, fine, 120 shillings, how frequently does this facility generate this 120 shillings? You estimate it. With how long do we stay there? You can make it easy and just say, we do spend about 4 minutes. So you want to ask yourself, in 1 hour, that is 60 minutes divided by 4 minutes, you want to multiply by 12. You get it as 15 times 12. So how much is that? I'll make it easy for us today. That is about 1,800 shillings. The mathematics gets interesting because that means that facility generates 1,800 shillings in 1 hour. And I'm sure you're aware, they do open a little bit early. So give it assessment. They work for how long? Of course, they work up to very late. In this case, we give an estimate of 10 hours. Okay? So 10 times 1,800, that gives you something like 18,000 shillings. Listen to that. That facility on the gent side generates 18,000 shillings. You want to ask yourself another question. What about the other side for ladies? And the answer is, it is even busier. But don't go far. Make the mathematics easy. Just assume they also generate the same 18,000 shillings. So times 2, that is 36,000 shillings. My members, Harambee Sacco members, I want you to appreciate that that facility there at the archives, it generates a modest figure. It generates more of 36,000 shillings in a single day. Definitely, you get interested. How much does it generate in a week? And even to be more humble, just say 6 days. So you don't want to disturb yourself and say times 7. So you can do the mathematics with me, and you want to establish 36,000 shillings in a day times 6 days. That is, you leave out Sunday. Maybe Sunday people are fewer. I am getting here 216,000 Kenya shillings. So the question then you want to ask yourself as a member of Harambee Sacco, in 1 week, that facility has generated 216. And of course, if I ask us, you may think I'm rude, how many of us are generating a net income of 216? Very few of us. Let's not stop there. A month has got 4 weeks. So let's go ahead. 216 times 4. Me, I'm getting here 2,616. That facility generates 2,616 in 1 month. Okay, there are expenses. I don't want to go into that for now. But even if you were to spend $1 million just for mathematics case, you still have 1,616. Well, that mathematics was not adding up. So another day, I find myself along Aga Khan Walk. Aga Khan Walk, now you're going down towards Harambee. Then there is another toilet there. So that one is even better. You find people selling shoes, even snacks. There's even a bathroom. Even the attendants are 2. So I also get in, I relieve myself. So I get more interested because this one is even better than the ones in archives. And anybody who is in Nairobi, you can confirm the same. So I ask the steward, the lady at the counter, and I just tell her, I'm curious. You seem to be having really good traffic coming into this facility. How much do you generate in a day? And she tells me casually, well, something to the tune of 40, 50,000 in a day. In fact, we started the story when I was joking that I want to buy that facility. And she told me point blank, you can't buy this facility. So she tells me, you do 40, 50. But on a cold day like, today it is not cold in Nairobi. On a cold day, we do more. We do more. And I'm really impressed when she tells me on a cold day, we do more. Those of you who went to a little biology school, you know why. When it is cold, the metabolism of the body is faster. So you probably go, if you normally go for one shot call, you'll probably do 2 or 3. Now, the story ends there, and I start being rude now. Who in Harambee Sacco cannot access a facility to put up such a toilet? The one near archives or the one near along Aga Khan Walk? And you don't have to do it in Nairobi. I normally tell my audience that Kenya is becoming urban and at a very fast rate. Unfortunately, there is no urban planning. I'll give you some 2 examples so that you get it well. There was a small eatery called Kikopei that is along Nakuru Highway. It used to be some one shop. All of a sudden today, Kikopei itself, I think, deserves being a municipality. Houses are all over. businesses are over. I think I've tried to look when I shop around there. I've not seen any public facility like the ones I'm referring to. What if you took advantage of Kikopay or similar to Kikopay and you did the same? When I go towards Thika Garissa, a while back, the end of Thika was Makongeni. So if you're in Makongeni, then you know you have reached the end of Thika. Today, if you drive or you move along Thika Garissa Highway, it's very difficult to tell at the end. And there's no proper planning. You know, we have got this land investment, which I'll also mention in a short while, and they are more haphazard. This is where now I want to invite our members. Don't think of Thika Highway, don't think of Nakuru Highway only. Even along Mombasa Road, as you go towards Machakos, Kagundo Road, whichever road, urban setups are coming up, but we don't have facilities of this nature. And as I exit this issue of trying to sell to you shit, I want to draw your attention to Afia Center. Afia Center is near the stage, the main stage. We do have buses to North Rift, South Rift behind there. And when I was there last, I was amazed. People have leased rooms. And instead of opening eateries, instead of selling shops or hardware, they have developed nice toilets. Anybody who is in Nairobi, and I want you to go there and confirm to yourself, you'll find nice houses have been converted into toilets. And when I jokingly checked out with one of them, they told me there is good money here. There is good money here. I want you to think about it. And wherever you are, it's not a must you talk about Nairobi, Machakos, or Thika, any part of Kenya. In fact, those of us who pass through Kisii, I think Kisii is one of the most expensive towns when you want such kind of facility that I'm talking about. The toilet at the bus stage for many years, I've not been there recently. When the rest were charging 10 shillings, then they were charging 20 shillings. So you can imagine they start charging 20 shillings from 5 a.m. and this goes on up to about midnight. How much money have they generated there? What about you as a member of Harambee Sacco? And I am talking to a modest member. Of course, if you're doing very well and you can take 20, 40 million, there are other opportunities that are there for you. Fine. Talking about shit is not popular, so I want to stop and leave that one. But before I exit the urban setup, I want to amaze you as well. In the year 2021, Nation newspapers wrote about mkokoteni industry in Nairobi only. And they were estimating that mkokoteni transport within Nairobi is over 1 billion shillings in a month. Now that is interesting. So as a student, I got interested. And they wrote it twice the same year. And in both, they were saying that industry generates more than 1 billion Kenya shillings. So what happens? We have got about 4 or 5 people, actually there are 5, who owns all these many mkokotenis you see in the city of Nairobi. And they are based there at Wakorima. And what happens is they own them. And then very early in the morning, of course, as early as 2 a.m., they are leasing them out. They are leasing them out to who? We have professional mkokoteni pushers. We have people who's, for them, when they wake up, just like I wake up, come to Harambee, then they wake up to go and transport the foodware that has been brought at Wakorima. Very interesting. These people, they work hard very, very early when the rest of us, we are still asleep. So at 2 a.m., you find a group of 4, 5 young men. They have already loaded Boga and Kadalika. Now they go far, so you find they go as far as Dagoretti, they go as far as Kayole. And by about 8, 9, they are back. So how do they lease? It's very easy. That particular time, I don't know how the pricing is now. You would go with cash or M-Pesa, 300 and your ID. So if you are the first one, your ID, your M-Pesa, you pay, and it is registered, and then you are either, and your ID is kept there. You are given mkokoteni, and you go. Now, by about 8 a.m., and the most investor there in this mkokoteni is about 300, that's over 300 of them. By around 8, all the 300 are gone. And this is where now I come with my calculator. 300 shillings times 300 mkokotenis. How much is that? That is 90,000 Kenya shillings. So by 8 a.m. in Nairobi, one Kenyan, of course, didn't even go to school as much as myself or yourself, has generated an income of 90,000 Kenya shillings. No tax, remember? The story does not end there. The professionals, once they are back, once they are through, they are going to Kayole, and they're expensive. You will find one trip to Dagoretti or so, each of them has pocketed about 2,000, 3,000. And that is good for them in a day. So that those of you who know railway, just between railway and industrial area there, huko tunakulanga kichwa. So ukienda huko utakula, people are eating kichwa as early as 8. You wonder what is happening. They have already done their work for the day. These are some of the gentlemen. When you go to the railway down there, you'll find they are very busy rewarding themselves for the effort they have made. So between 8 and the rest of the day, the leasing of the mkokotenis go on, and another 50% is leased out in the course of the day. So say for argument's sake, 150 of them. So another 45,000. If you add 45,000 to 90,000, that is 135,000 shillings. Not bad money. And remember, that is in one day. Fine, it's not easy to do that business. There is what we call protection fees. That particular time, I went fiscally. That time, protection fees was 30,000. Of course, there is also parking. Parking is not difficult. It's 10 shillings per mkokoteni. And at the end of the day, the owner still remains with about 90,000 net. And remember, there is no tax. That is his money. At one point, so a group of them used to bank in Standard Chartered. Particularly, there is one Standard Chartered along Kenyatta Avenue. And it was found out that they don't withdraw. They only bank in money. And in Kenya, if you keep on banking money and banking money and banking money and not withdrawing, then somebody in central bank will look for you. They won't come directly to where you are or whether you have the banking slips. They will go to your bank and they will ask your bank, who is this and what business is he doing? And the bank will be compelled to give you business advice. And that is exactly what happened. So if you go down there in Kamkunji, you will find so many arcades, plazas, and the likes. Those buildings belongs to these business people down there who generate money on a daily basis at a rate at which you can't even spend. Fine. I want to come back to members of Harambee. We are saying we don't have investment opportunities, or we can only pay our loans from salaries. No. We have opportunities all over because we have so many stages. As much as we are talking of that area is blessed with a market, or we have so many markets, What stops a Harambee member also from developing 2-3 mkokotenis, employ 2-3 Kenyans? You may not even charge 300 shillings. You may just decide to charge 200 shillings. Assuming you had 5 of them spread across, say, Utawara, that will give you 5 times the 200. That is additional 1,000 shillings. If you commit to save at Harambee Sacco 1,000 shillings every day, I just want to say Monday to Friday, you'll be able to save in a week 5,000 and in a month 20,000. Or let me put it the other way. If you're able to commit 20,000 and you look at our longest loan that we give at 96 months, and let me just put it loose to make your work very easy, 96 times 20,000, you'll be amazed. That is about 1.9 million. So with about 5 mkokotenis, you should be able to generate an income that enables you to access a facility. And we allow at Harambee. You open a business account, you're able to bank money there on a daily basis or periodically. We will be able to assess you after 6 months, and we'll give you a loan against it. And this could be your seed capital, which starts you off. I want to implore Harambee Sacco members, both in urban, the rural setups, let's take advantage of these small opportunities. I will give us 2 more, then I want to exit so that I can answer 1 or 2 questions. Another very interesting example, and this is real. This one is from Nairobi. So another day I was invited to industrial area to go and talk to members of a SACCO. The SACCO is called Strategic Urembo Sacco. Strategic Urembo Sacco serves those who are in the beauty industry in industrial area. It's a real SACCO, like Harambee. So I go talk to members and I shared with them, like I am sharing with you here. Then the treasurer is very impressed. Treasurer is from the coast, so you'll find him with a kilemba. Then he tells me, Mwalimu, let me add them 1 example. And by the way, they already know that example. Then I tell him, this one will even be more practical since you're already one of us here. Now, what does he tell us? He tells us, for him, he looked around and he saw that he could invest. He couldn't buy a matatu. It was too expensive. He couldn't buy a bus. It was too expensive. And his job is also so small that the pay slip is so tight. So what did he do? He bought a tuk-tuk. And then he hired a young man and bought another tuk-tuk and hired a young man. So if you walk around the National Archives in Nairobi, just the Tomboya side, you'll find so many tuk-tuks. Not all of them are his, but majority of them are his. And for him, he said, no, I even don't want to go so far. Since I work in industrial area, I only want to deal with 2 roads. So his tuk-tuk plies Jogo Road and Enterprise Road. Just the 2. And for those of you who have worked in industrial area, I'm sure you have seen them. For those of you who have worked in Tomboya, along Tomboya Street, you have seen them. At that particular time when I was summarizing this, all he would do is a young man comes, he takes a tuk-tuk, plies the route the whole day. In the evening, you bring him 1,000 and full tank. And you park the tuk-tuk at his designated point. That time he had 20 of them. So you can do for me the mathematics. 20 tuk-tuks times 1,000 shillings. According to my calculator here, that is 20,000 shillings in a day. Okay. Fine, you can pay a few things here and there, but you won't miss 15,000 shillings. Now, let's do the mathematics. 50,000 shillings in a day. And of course, they work throughout, but I want us to leave out Sunday. And we say, fine, we have 15 and 15,000 shillings. And we want to multiply by the 20, sorry, by the 6 days in a week, 6 days in a week. And you have there 90,000 shillings. 90,000 shillings, that is 1 week. Let's check what happens in 1 month. Now times 4. That is 360,000 in a month. Just from Mukokoteni. So around after that class myself, I decided to go to my sacco. And of course I could access more. So I bought 3 at a go. And I think those who know a town called Handcart, I'm the first one to bring Mkokoteni. And the one I brought was, that time there were a lot of construction. So we were transporting water to construction sites. I put another one in Awendo and another one in Migori. And I have no regret because every evening, of course, 2 of them are down now. One is still up. Now a few more people have come. Each evening, I was waiting for the sound of SMS from Homa Bay, ting. Then the sound from Awendo, ting, ting. The sound from Migori, ting, ting, ting. And how nice can it be when before you sleep, you look at your phone and the SMSs have come exactly the way you thought they should be coming. So Homa Bay, Migori, and the likes. Fine, to cut the story short, and we come back and ask ourselves, what is it that would stop a member of Harambee also to compete with the rest in a similar scenario? And remember, in that particular case, I have created employment, and the people actually you have created employment for, they even earn more than you yourself who is waiting for, say, 500, depending on where you're going to operate, or 1,000. And now I know it's even more expensive because the population is growing, the urban centers are increasing, level of activity is increasing. And I want to urge our members of Harambee Sacco as well, let's not wait till we build a 10-story building and then we say we have invested. No, let's start from the basics of the basics. Now, that is nice and good. Another story that I want to tell us, this story is also a real story here in Nairobi City. This story is about Mkisi, Mkisi, that is how he's popularly known. Mkisi finished university, and of course, there was no job. So he took a bus, crossed Tanzania, crossed Malawi, crossed Mozambique, went down up to South Africa. So he looked for work in South Africa. There was no work. Then he landed shoe shining, kupiga viatu rangi. And he did that faithfully for about 10 years. Now, after 10 years, he had accumulated some small capital and knowledge about this industry of shoe shining. So this was before devolution came and we were having now county. That time we were having Nairobi City Council. So he came back and he found a big opportunity in Nairobi. That time shoe shining was a hazard. There used to be a lot of running back and forth between the shoe shiners and the Kanjo, that is the council askaris. So he negotiated an MOU with the county council, and he officially was allowed to put in modern shades. I don't know whether you're able to see them. Modern shades, like when I've talked a lot about archives, you'll find them there. And all over, the most expensive particular that time was found in Lifestyle. That is near, Lifestyle is near not University Way. We used to have a big supermarket there. That time was called an Akumat. think today it's either Quickmart or Naivas. I rarely get in that far. So, and after setting up this, he changes an industry which was chaotic to a formal business generating industry. So how is it operating? It's very easy. For him, after setting up and paying the council their dues so that whoever goes there to operate is not harassed, and even the customers, they are not harassed. He sets up and charges depending on the location and, of course, the type of clients that are likely to go there. So you find that by the time those who are getting their services at archives, it was about 200 shillings. They would charge you about 200 shillings. Lifestyle was a bit high. That time, in some corner, there were more. There were not just one. To be as high as 500 shillings. And for him, these people who are operating, they are not his employees. These were also investors. So they come in the morning, they set up their various shoe shines and whatever, and they pay. They pay. So by around 10, you hire. You have already leased. And it was that time already we had M-Pesa. So you find by around 11, he has pocketed his 90,000 shillings. Fine. That is Nairobi City. But now urbanization has come and we have other cities, we have other urban centers. Can I challenge Harambee Sacco members that you also could do the same? You could also do the same, and you don't have to put so many of them. Him was an investor, a big investor, so he was able to put up a number of them all over Nairobi City. What about you? Why not put up a 2-3 seater stand, 4-5 seater stand, and in the process, of course, you have created opportunity for employment for those 3 Kenyans, 4 Kenyans, and the likes. Okay, that is a low-lying one. Now, I know our time is running out, and I need to answer a few questions. We also have very good opportunities in the line of agriculture. Some people come to my desk here and they tell me, I'm going to start chicken rearing. I want to go into eggs. Others, I want to go into buzi. Others tell me, no. Horticulture in Kajiado is the answer today. So opportunities are abundant. Opportunities are abundant. Let me come to some of the questions that the members would like us to talk about. Oh, there is Dixon Mithika. Hear me saying, will investing in share capital affect returns on share deposit? The answer is no. Investing in share capital will not affect returns on deposits. Why? By far and large, the proportion of what we call share capital at Harambee is still pretty small. Our total assets today stands at about 41 billion. Out of this 41 billion, share capital only accounts for 2.4 billion. So the allocation that we are going to make for share capital at least 15% is a drop of water in the ocean. So return on deposits will not be affected. Then there is James Opio. James is asking or is saying, I want to build commercial houses in Kisumu. Can the SACCO assist me and how? Please advise. Yes, the SACCO can assist you, but to the extent of your savings and the extent of your capacity to repay your facility. Currently, and I want it to be very clear, we have a mortgage facility in partnership with Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Company. However, Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Company is a creation of the government and operates under very strict rules, also supervised by the World Bank. So, mortgage facility that we have today at Harambee, which would allow you to have a long-term loan of up to 25 years, is only meant to help you build residential. It's not meant for commercial. So for commercial, we recommend you come for a long-term loan, and currently we have Inuka 96. So we will look at your capacity times or divided by the 96 months, and we check also your deposits times 4. We will be able to arrive at a figure. Of course, if your salary is good, you'll be able to access good money. I think since I came to Harambee, the biggest loan I've issued out was 21 million. I'm being told there's another one coming up of 26 million. With actually 21 million, you should be able to do nice houses. But even with as low as a million, and depending on what type of house you're talking about, you should be able to do houses. So what do Kenyans do, assuming you are just an ordinary person and your income is not that big? We call it incremental. So you come for your loan one, probably you want to buy the plots. You repay it maybe after 2 years. No. You say, fine, let me do the foundation. And of course, you're working somewhere. Maybe the children are still small. After 4 years or so, you come back. Of course, after 6 years, you should be able to have your houses up and running. And of course, you may not start with many houses. So the answer is a big yes. Harambee Sacco can help you put up commercial buildings in Kisumu. It must be out of your determination. It will not just happen. You must be interested and you must closely follow up on the same. Now, there is Sharon Koech. What is the rate of dividend per share? And on share capital? I want that information. As I already explained in the previous 2 webinars, we are running a shares drive. And what is a shares drive? This is a campaign for members to invest in Harambee Sacco shares. And like I mentioned, and we've made a commitment with the regulator, yes, it is true. We will be able to pay at least 15%. So if you have opportunity at the moment, just like I was talking about Mkokoteni, I was talking about the toilet, invest in Harambee share capital, we're giving you a guarantee of 15%. Then there is Mabea Mogaka. He says, I need to link with hotel investment so that we partner in completing an hotel in Kisii town. The superstructure is 90% complete. I think, Mr. Mabea, probably the best I can do here is share with those who are listening. And if any of us is interested in this hotel business, Mr. Mugaka is saying is keen on this and is almost halfway. And anybody who is interested, of course, we can easily connect you with the Mugaka from the office here, and you complete the hotel. That will be lovely. Now, as we continue, I want to inform us that as much as we are talking about investment, we are listening to investment talks here and other places, there is a likelihood that many of us will still not be investors even after this. No. Why is this the case? You will be shocked. It is not about lack of money. It's not about lack of time. No. If you are passionate about investment, you will have time for it. Even the resource to commit in that particular investment project will be there. Your biggest enemy, my biggest enemy, are my friends, my associates. There is no way you will have friends whose passion, for example, is football. And then you want to say, I want to invest in a convenience shop. It's not possible, because to invest in a convenience shop, you have to create time. You must be in that shop. You must be with the people who are working for you in that shop. The football fans, of course, they also know where they meet, and it won't just work. So to test whether you are going to be an investor or not, ask yourself, and we do this when we are training those who are about to retire. Ask yourself, who are your 5 closest associates? Not your relatives. Don't bring your wife or husband in this equation. Your 5 closest friends. What do you have in common? So, of course, you will find, depending on your passion or your interest in life, so somebody will tell you, church, choir, football, talk about other things. No, no, no. If number 1 to number 5, you only find 2 are talking about investment, then you have a problem. You have to disassociate from your friends and create new friends who are in the line of your interest. So if the line of your interest was agriculture, then you have to look for those who are in agriculture to be your friends. I normally put a joke and say, in a county neighboring my county is Migori, so the neighboring county is Homa Bay. Homa Bay has got a very interesting spot and is a rare one, but it's found in Homa Bay, Kisii, Migori, and the likes. We have those who do athletics at night. They do athletics at night. If you want to perfect your night athletics, you can only associate with those who are in that particular sport. You can't say you are a footballer during the day and then you want to compete and beat. The same case with what we call investment. And I think now with technology, it's much easier. I have interest in some areas, particularly at one point I was interested in fish. So you find a WhatsApp group of fish farmers, a WhatsApp group of chicken farmers, a WhatsApp group of dairy farmers, or avocado farmers. And I think in each of them, I must admit, the few groups that I am a member, there is a lot of information and there's a lot of sharing. Members do research all over, members share, members ask questions, exactly the same. The people you associate with either build you or bring you down. Let me answer a few more questions here as we come towards the end. Joseph Mukira. Joseph is saying, thank you for enlightening us on investment opportunity available. Please send more information on Wafanisi. Oh, okay. Thank you, Joseph. Now, Wafanisi, what is it? Before we started onboarding members who are not necessarily employees of any government ministry or department, it was very difficult for us to allow a retiring person to continue. To solve this, we created an equivalent department now to take care of those senior citizens, and we call it Wafanisi. So it means today, if you're a member of Harambee Sacco and your retirement time reaches, you don't stop being a member, you continue. So we only change your number or membership number from your previous department to Wafanisi. So for example, if you are in the office of the president, maybe you are, for example, a commissioner. Yes? Now, after retirement, definitely we don't expect anything to be coming from office of the president. So we change our records to Wafanisi. So you are still a member of Harambee, and your department within Harambee is Wafanisi, which in our case is synonymous with those who have retired. And they're doing very, very well. So you continue. We allow them, instead of them giving at least 3,000, we allow them to do for as little as 1,300. You are insured like any other member in employment. At the same time, you are able to access a loan. We encourage them to access up to what they have left with Harambee. And at the point of retirement, we allow you to access up to 50% of whatever you have saved. You leave 50% and you continue saving and you continue being a member. And you take loans. Today I'll shock you the portfolio of members of Wafanisi, or the department in quotes we are calling Wafanisi, is over 800 million at Harambee. So you find it is almost a sacco inside a sacco. So that is what we call Wafanisi. And just like everybody else, we encourage them also to invest in share capital. In fact, this category of members, when you get your lump sum, I really encourage you. You need to put it in cash or near cash. Investing in Harambee deposits, investing in Harambee share capital that guarantees you cash returns is an opportunity. Then we have Eric Udeny. Eric is asking, sir, is organization in a position to supply building materials as iron sheets to members to their homes without transport cost? So, Eric, I know it is true, some SACCOs have improvised products that are of this nature, and they are partnered with hardwares, they are partnered with building material suppliers, and like you are correctly saying, they are able to supply their members with building materials. I want to regret that here at Harambee, we have not started the same, and allow us to take this as a business idea, as a product opportunity for a product, and we give you an answer in another opportunity. So currently, we are not able to do the same. The only partnerships we already have at the moment is for water tank. We have partnered with a water tank manufacturer, and indeed, he supplies, he will deliver up to where you are, except northern Kenya, where security is a bit of a challenge. Sorry, just 1 minute. So at the moment, we welcome you as you continue with the construction. At the point of wanting a water tank, just liaise with the SACCO office or branch. We will organize for you. The tank will be delivered. We are in the process of onboarding a dealer in solar products, and we will announce to the membership in due course that we are ready also to help us access guaranteed quality and guaranteed solar products. So we have started in that small way, and we expect in the long run we should be expanded to other products like the ones you are asking for building. Then the other question that I'm seeing here, just 1 minute. Oh, there is Peter here. Peter is asking, I have not heard you mention matatu. Okay. Yes, matatu is a popular investment opportunity, especially among SACCO members. Only it's a bit tricky. So if you are liars, or you can get registration into a matatu SACCO that is reliable and knows the game, then there is no harm. You can as well invest in matatus. Although a number of us we've burnt our fingers there before, but it has got good liquidity, where it means there is daily cash compared with some of these investments which you will have to wait before you start receiving your money. Matatu, you put it on the road today, in the evening you'll get something. So I didn't want it to be my top example, but I recognize that it exists as well and is an opportunity. Then the other one that I'm seeing here, someone is asking here, how is the business of hostel near educational centers? Yes. Some of us, I think at least one member gave me the story one day about putting up hostels in some two new universities. According to his testimony, I don't have my own testimony. There is good money, especially at the beginning of a semester. And if you know how to do your collection right, you will not go wrong. From my desk, we are more than willing to give you financing to put up hostels wherever you have identified. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think mine was to incite you on how to think about investment, and mine was basic investment opportunities. Of course, if I was in the classroom in the university, you would be amazed. I would be talking about different things. In the university, we talk about things like, of course, shares, like you hear me saying here. We'll be talking about insurance, and that is a very good one. Investing in insurance policies as well. Personally benefited. Fixed deposit accounts, we have it here at Harambee. You put your money there, especially wafanisi. Wafanisi, don't take your bulk and start constructing. No. When you retire, please don't do that. Come for what is cash or near cash investment. So we strongly recommend fixed deposit accounts for our wafanisi. Of course, we tell our students in the university about Nairobi Securities Exchange. As I was saying, ask the experts. We will tell you how Nairobi Securities Exchange operates. A very good investment decision as well. Shares, I think I've mentioned that quite a bit. Bonds, corporate bonds. SACCOs don't have bonds. In SACCOs, we only have shares, and we have then what we call deposits. Forex. This is where you try to invest in different currencies. So, for example, right now the shilling is strong, so you can buy the dollar right now. Then you wait when the shilling depreciates, then you sell the dollar, and you will have more shillings. But I think if you are not operating in large scale, it's a very tricky business. It's very lucrative, makes a lot of money, and you can become a millionaire or billionaire in seconds, but also very, very tricky. Of course, in the university, we teach them about mortgage. I'm going to have time in the webinar here, not today. We tell them about venture capital. I am seeing in some WhatsApp group, in fact, I'm quite impressed. In some WhatsApp group where I am, there is mobilization of funds to buy business that are promising. That is what we call venture capital. That you mobilize money. You don't want to start the business. You want to buy what is already running and is promising. And that one, we didn't have a lot of it in Kenya, but now it's coming up. I've seen a group that is already working towards that. Then we talk about offshore investment schemes. This could be very risky because first, you have very little control about them. Mostly you will find you'll access them through an agent. Some of them will make for you a lot of money, and you'll hear about put money. There is an investment opportunity in Dubai. There is an investment opportunity in Qatar and other parts of the world. So those ones are also there. One that is coming up in Kenya but has not been fully developed, where also people make money, what we call preferential shares. The shares that I'm talking about at Harambee These are equity. This is share that once you have invested, you don't expect them back. In the developed world, we talk about preferential shares. That is, you buy shares, the organization stays with them for a period of time, say 5 years, 10 years. At the expiry of that period, you're given back your money. And of course, you earn dividend on them on an annual basis, just like you'd earn on equity. So those are some of the opportunities. If you, of course, some are complicated. We talk of features, derivatives. Those ones we can't mention here. They will give us headache for no reason. I think, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking for the last 1.5 hours. That is good enough for today. You can continue sending the questions. We will continue answering them even after this webinar. I want to take this opportunity to thank all those who participated. May God bless you.